Summer nights and long warm days, stolen as the old moon falls, and the mirror shows another face, another place to hide it all.
No camping, no fires. Or do you think that's right here?
Let's go down a little bit more. This is a 3-mile road, so let's go see if we see more signs like that.
Copy.
This road technically is not in the National Forest, but the very tail end of this road is.
Copy that. We'll just keep an eye out for potential fire pits.
Right there.
Think we should just stop here?
Let's go down. It's not too much further down. Let's go down and check it out, and then on the way back.
Copy.
The plan after Yellowstone was to exit through the south entrance and head south toward the Grand Tetons. I had mapped a whole slew of potential campsites between here and there. We checked a few of them out, and they didn't really pan out, so we decided our last option was a remote site east of the highway, towards the Tetons. As I pull in here, notice how rutted and bumpy this road is. That'll come into play later.
There is no fire back here, no campfires, but we'll make do, even if it gets cold tonight. We've got the propane fire if we need it. But we haven't had a fire every night on this trip, so we'll see how it works. No fires, but there is a campfire ring here. Go figure. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull ahead of you if you want to stay back a little bit. I'd like to turn this trailer so that I'm facing this way. That way I can swing open the gate without disconnecting.
Copy.
So we're at camp. Just pulled in, found a great spot. We are out of self range, so I just pulled the weather report down from the Garmin InReach app, and wanted to make sure, see if it's going to rain or not, and check our lows for the night. So that's kind of how we run this. Is we've got a weather radio as a backup too, but looks like it's going to be a pretty calm night. Maybe a little bit of rain, but tomorrow looks like it's going to be nice. It is about 6 a.m. now. At 5 a.m., this freaking truck with a horse trailer pulls in out of all of this space in the National Forest. All this space. Boom, horse trailer right next to us. Whole national forest, and they have to park right there. I mean, I'm back at the entrance to the road. You can clearly see that we're set up there. So then I thought to myself, well, maybe the other sites were also full. I'll pop the drone up and let's take a look at the other sites to see if there's anybody around. And sure enough, as you can see, nobody for miles. This horse trailer didn't just pull in and park next to us. Every time his trailer hit one of those ruts in the dirt road pulling in, it sounded like a bulldozer. I woke up in the middle of the night in a panic because all I could see out the window were headlights, and it sounded like what was a bulldozer headed straight for me.
Constant sorrow, I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised. The place where he was born and raised. 6 long years I've been in trouble. No pleasures here on earth I've found. Oh, in this world I'm bound to ramble. I have no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help him now. Never expect to see you again, for I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon this train. Perhaps he'll die upon this train.
was a little slick.
Given that our friend in the horse trailer decided to camp right next to us, we decided to move on. We wanted to find another remote spot where we could just sit and slow down and relax for a while. I mapped several spots that were even supposed to be more remote than the last, and lo and behold, we find more horse trailers.
Well, this is disappointing. Apparently everybody comes out of here.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Should we head back up the road?
Keep going straight. We're going to tie into another road. We still are pretty close to that last spot that I had marked.
We pushed a little further out until we found one of the spots that I had mapped in planning the trip. This spot ended up being high on a cliff overlooking a riverbank. It was a nice spot, but it was really windy.
I'm just going to do a loop for a second.
You can see as I pull up here towards the fire pit, that's the edge of the cliff, and then the river runs down below in the gorge. We voted that that really wasn't our best option, and that we had passed one that looked like it was hidden down next to the creek on the way in, so we decided to backtrack.
So it's right here what you're talking about, right? But the road is down just a little bit.
Yes. It should be right here on the right.
There were no signs or markings, it was just a road that jutted off back into the woods. My kind of territory.
Oh, no trailers. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd say screw it. We'll cut the sign down, throw it in the fire.
Copy that. So there's a fire pit to the left. I'm just going to walk down here, cruise down here for a second. There's a picnic table down here.
There was one maybe about 100 yards back. Looked like it was right down by the water.
This one looks pretty sweet too.
This one looks pretty good.
We want to call it?
Copy that.
All right, I might be able to get around there.
Earlier in the day, we had met a gentleman who was giving me a little bit of grief for having such a long tongue on the hiker trailer. He said, "Why do you need a tongue that long?" I said, makes it easier to maneuver. I can back up, I can put it in corners, I can basically jackknife it, and you'll see exactly why here.
Don't mind me, I'm just sending it.
Just floor it till it sounds expensive. I think you're going to go right over the fire pit.
I am, and I think it's going to crush it.
I was trying to fit between a tree, a fire pit, and a picnic table. So I hopped out, slid the picnic table over, and then jackknifed the trailer back into the corner.
Why do you have such a long tongue on that trailer? So I can do this. How's the front wheel?
Drive that like a pro.
Dude, I'm telling you. Where are you going to set up?
I'm thinking right there.
Right where you're parked?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to go right over here then.
Or right here.
Alright.
Depends on how close you don't want to be to us.
Well, I'd kind of like to angle it this way so I can open the gate. Without... Yeah, I got it.
You're facing out. You don't have to maneuver to get out.
Yep. And that keeps people from parking next to us.
But before we finalized it, we wanted to take one last look around.
I think this might be our campsite for the night. River comes around. All the way around. Right there. Yep, there's fire pit. I like this plan.
But even better, as we were standing there looking at the water, we noticed that up upon the bank, down to the south, there was an even better campsite. This one was flat, it was right next to the water, and it was in an area we could pretty much cordon off to make our own. So it's probably worth mentioning that we got very lucky with this campsite. With the water being as low as it was, I happened to check Google Earth when we had coverage and noticed that this area, this particular campsite right next to the water, is flooded throughout the spring and
I'm
summertime.
gonna circle this fire thing to the left and then swing back around so that I can pull the same like turn thing here.
In fact, during spring runoff, this entire area we're driving in right now is pretty much flooded.
You throw the sides on ours.
All right, guys, what happened? What just happened?
That was a tsunami.
The hurricane rolled in. watch out for the water hazard.
A little bit of rain coming in, you know, just like
There's a rainstorm.
just like England, just another day. So yeah, we were having a good chat with Kevin and what was the other guy's name? Kevin and Jeff, who were fly fishermen, basically making their way down from Montana, fly fishing along all these beautiful water bodies. Stopped to chat for us for a while, and then a tsunami hit.
They brought on the rain.
They definitely brought on the rain. Special effects! As you can see, here, and probably feel if I don't put this camera down, we're in the middle of it right now. So we've started to stake down some awnings. We've put some flimsy awnings away. I think chances of a fire anytime soon are probably a little,
Slim, I feel like I'm on Naked and Afraid.
yeah.
I feel like that's what this
Yeah.
is, except we have clothes on.
David's hands are purple.
Dave is being a little girl. It's okay, homie.
I'm soaked from head to toe.
This is not pee.
Not pee, not urine. But, so yeah, we're gonna try and wrap some things up here, stay dry, and pick this up later.
I'm gonna build a fire so big that the rain evaporates 100 yards around it. Maybe 30 yards. I need to go.
One of the things that I really love about camping and getting out in nature is even though you go through these moments where you're just miserable and there's downpouring rain and everything seems like it's just out to get you, it stops and it changes, and then you get something like this, which is the rainbow in the clear sky, in what would turn out to be my favorite campsite of the entire trip. And after a while, it would dry out enough for us to make a campfire that night. And we decided that this was the place where we were going to stop and take it easy and slow down and just really relax.
What are we recording?
The sun coming out.
Here comes the sun.
No. It's alright.
Got bugs in my hair.
Yeah.
Where's my hat?
It looks like we might have a few minutes of sunshine before the next batch hits us. Looks like it's lurking over the horizon. I'm gonna take whatever sun I can get to dry off all the water down here. Even the deer ran for hiding when the tsunami came through.
That storm hit us pretty hard. It was on us in no time, and just as fast, it was over.
We got some pools of water, pretty much only where the Alu-Cab dumps its stuff or we manually dump the Alu-Cab stuff because the Alu-Cab does not do well in the rain. It pulls water like crazy and you have to dump it, otherwise it gets to be about 400 pounds overnight, and then you dump it and pretty much fill up rain barrels, like 50-gallon rain barrels. So, on a good note, it doesn't break when the poles are down, but you can pretty much take a shower when you empty it. Yeah.
Oh, here comes a horse trailer.
Outstanding.
I hope they pull in
Right here. Hey
Tomorrow
guys.
morning at 5 a.m.
Yes, I can't wait.
This is Amelia.
What'd you say you were going to name
She's a female
When I was in
mule deer.
elementary school, middle school, everybody thought
She
that
just, she's been hanging out here since we've been here at camp. She's come close. I think she wants to hang out. Maybe wants a beer. Wants to come on over here, hang out under the awning with us. Maybe roll around in these puddles that the Alu-Cab awning creates.
Not true.
There's the baby. There's the baby. They can come over and camp with us. We'll keep them safe from the wolves.
Keep the wolves away.
Yep. Oh, camp vibes. Alright. It is Wednesday morning, I believe, somewhere around the 3rd of October. We camped here along Snake River last night. This is actually Crystal Creek that you're looking at. Hopefully this sound isn't too bad because the wind is blowing and my good mic has died. So this is Crystal Creek and it feeds in the Snake River, but this is an absolutely gorgeous area. Very remote, very dispersed. We found a spot right along the river, right along the creek. There's multiple options here. I'm gonna walk out. This was actually gonna be one of them. It's out here. Sorry, it's so windy. And then set up camp here. There is a little fire ring there, but this would give us a surround nice little bend. Would have been a beautiful campsite by any means. However, a little bit more exploration. We found a site that's a little higher up in terms of the bank. It sits right on the bank. And so we're just a little ways down here. Still very windy. This is a little more flat for us to sleep on, but you can see the water is still right there. It's got a nice fire pit already established. And I mean, the view is just spectacular. Listening to this water all night. It did rain pretty hard on and off, and the wind really never did let up. As you can probably hear, it's still going. So we were gonna try and plan to spend most of the day here today, just to take it easy, almost as if it's a day off from traveling. But given the weather, the wind, and a potential chance of additional rain, we might pack up and move on. This might be one of my all-time top 5, possibly even top 3 favorite campsites. Just absolutely beautiful.